Right, in this video I'm going to look at the situation where you're having to share stuff out by dividing it up into a specific ratio. So actually here on the table I've got 24 peas and I've got some bottle caps here, so that I'm going to be able to split them up into the ratio 2 parts to 1 part. 2 parts to Callum, 1 part to Andy. So in a ratio of 2 to 1 I've got 3 pots in all, and all I do is I go through and I start placing the peas in the pot. There's the first batch, there's the second batch, and in fact I suppose they're going to end up being divided, aren't they, in batches of 3, so that because there is a total of 3 pots, each batch of 3 satisfies 1 new round. So I'm just going to keep on going. Okay, so now I've divided them all up, 24 peas in the ratio 2 to 1. Let's see what one of these shares contains. Let's look at this one, I suppose. If I tip those out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are actually 8 peas in a single share. So in total, Callum's got 2 shares of 8, 2 8s are 16, and Andy's got 1 share of 8. So 24 divided into the ratio 2 to 1 is 16 and 8. The ratio of shares as I was dividing out was 2 to Callum and 1 to Andy. So the total number of shares in that ratio is 2 plus 1, which is 3. Add them together to get the total shares. The original quantity I had to be shared out was 24 peas. In the next column, what is 1 share worth? Well, we just counted that share out to say that there were 8, but can we work that out? If there are 24 and they're shared into 3 equal shares, then the number in 1 share is obviously going to be the 24 divided by the 3, which is how you got to the 8. 24 divided by 3 is 8, because 8 3s are 24. So Callum gets 2 parts, and each part is worth 8. So 2 shares of 8, 2 8s are 16. And Andy gets 1 share of 8, which is just 8. So to work out this number, it's the first number in the ratio times whatever each share is worth. And in this column, it's the second number in the ratio, 1, times what each share is worth. Okay, let's look at a slightly different division of those 24 now. Okay, I'm going to add another pot up here, so I'm going to end up dividing the 24 peas in the ratio 3 to 1. 3 parts to 1 part. Still the same number of peas, 24. I suppose we could sort of plan ahead by looking at what those shares are going to be, because each batch that we share out is going to now have 3 for one side and 1 for the other. So we're now going in batches of 4. So let's start the process off. Okay, that's all the peas shared out now. So let's see what a single share is worth on its own. All these caps have got the same number of peas in, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 peas in each share this time. So let's have a look at how I work that out. The ratio this time is 3 to 1. So the total number of shares, the bottle tops I need 4 of them. Quantity to be shared out is still the same, it's still 24p's. What's one share worth now? Well, each share, 6 in the cap, is got by saying, well, it's 24 now divided between 4 caps. How many 4s are there in 24? There are 6, so 24 divided by 4 this time gives you 6 in a single share. So what does Callum get? Well, Callum gets 3 shares of 6, which is 18. There they are, 6 plus 6 plus 6. And Andy gets 1 share of 6, which of course is just 6. So 24 divided in the ratio 3 to 1 is 18 and 6. Let's look at a slightly different example. Okay, instead of dividing in the ratio 3 to 1, I'm going to divide in the ratio 3 to 5. You see all those? Yes, you can, can't you? So I'm now dividing 24p's in the ratio 3 parts to 5 parts. I suppose we can do a bit of planning. Let's visualise it before I put the peas into the pots. One batch now is going to contain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 peas. It's 3 plus 5 is 8. So how many batches of 8 am I actually going to share out? That's it. So with them laid out like that, we can see that a single share is just 3 peas now. I'll put those in each pot. Okay, so there are my 24p's divided up in the ratio 3 to 5. Let's see what that looks like on my table. The ratio is 3 to Callum to 5 to Andy. So the total number of shares now is 3 plus 5, which is 8 in all. And it's the same number of peas to be shared out, 24. So one share we can see is just worth 3 peas this time, and that was got because we divided the 24 by the total number of shares, which in this case was 8, and 24 divided by 8 gives you 3. So Callum gets 3 shares of 3, which is 9. There they are, 3 shares of 3. And Andy gets 5 shares of 3, which is 15. So 24 divided in the ratio 3 to 5 gives you 9 to 15.